Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Just in case you're new here, my name is Crystal, and today I am going to be doing the end of the year book tag. This book tag was created by Ariel Bisset, and I will link her channel and the original video down below for you guys, just in case you want to check it out for yourselves, along with the challenge questions down below. But this is going to basically be my TBR for the rest of the year. I just don't find it necessary to give you guys a full TBR for November and December because there's just so much happening and everyone's lives are so busy around this time. So this is basically going to be my TBR, and I'm going to mood read basically for the rest of the year. I think that's a really great idea. I don't want to just stick to one TBR. If books pop up and I want to read, say, like a basic holiday romance off the shelves, I want to do that. I don't want to have to just strictly stick to my TBR for the rest of the year. There's also so many books I'd like to get to before the end of the year, like recent releases November 5th. I think I pre-ordered like 5 books. So those are ones that I'd really like to get to. So on that note, let's get into the tag and find out what I'm doing for the end of the year. So I'm going to be reading the questions off my phone because I'm just terrible at memorization, so don't mind me if I'm looking down a little bit. The first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Yes, there are quite a few, but the ones that I really would love to finish that are off the top of my head right now actually is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I'd really like to get to that. Very early on in that book, I started it and I just put it down because I just wanted to read some October books. I wanted to get into Halloween, and also I want to finish Diane Setterfeld's Once Upon a River. I was really enjoying that book and I was really immersed into the world. I just put it down because of, I don't even know why I put it down, because I was actually really enjoying that book. So those are the 2 books that I would really like to finish before the end of the year. Do you have any autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I always enjoy rereading Harry Potter this time of year. It just gets me in the holiday spirit. It just makes me really happy, and yeah, so definitely into Harry Potter. So I am currently rereading Harry Potter as of November 1st. I started rereading it. I am listening to The Sorcerer's Stone on Audible. I'm just recently getting into that. And then I'm going to switch over to the illustration editions because I haven't read those yet. I own them, but I haven't really cracked them open and read them yet. I've flipped through and looked at the pictures, but I really would like to physically read them. So those will be my at-home read for before I go to bed or whatever the case is. But Harry Potter, I suggest it. I don't know how many people haven't read Harry Potter in their life, but if you haven't, definitely check it out because it is life-changing. And most of us will say that. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? I don't think there's any new releases coming out from this point on. It's November 5th today, huge book release day. But one book that I must finish before the end of the year is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. The 3rd and final book of the Scythe series. I am obsessed with that series. I read Scythe 3 years ago and absolutely fell in love with it. And then I continued on when Thunderhead came out. But I have been patiently awaiting The Toll. And a friend of mine had given me her art copy because she works for the publisher and she was able to get like a printout of it. But I just felt weird reading pages on like white paper. You know what I mean? Like not an actual book. It was just almost like a transcript, and I just felt weird reading it. Also, it was an uncorrected proof. I want to read the finished copy, so that's coming in the mail today. It could possibly be on my porch right now, but once it's in my hands, that's the book that I'm going to be reading, and I'm really excited about it. The next question is, what are 3 books that you want to read by the end of the year? And there's a lot, but definitely The Starless Sea, The Toll, Winterwood by Shea Ernshaw, because I need to get my own opinion on that book. I keep hearing mixed things from people that had ARCs. And possibly Call Down the Hawk if I can get to it by Maggie Stiefvater. I ended up falling in love with the Raven Boy series, and Ronan is my favorite character out of all the boys. And yeah, so I really would like to get to those 5 or 4 that I named. But yeah, so many books are coming out today as I'm filming this, and I'm just so excited. It's a great day. I own The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, so I picked that up this morning. I was actually driving on my way to CKO, which is a kickboxing class that I do, and the Barnes & Noble is very, very close to that. I had a 9:30 class. I walked into Barnes & Noble at 9 a.m. and bought this book this morning. So that's dedication. Can't wait to read this. And I'll probably start reading it when I stop filming today. Next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know which book that could be because there's so many on my TBR. And so many that I want to read, but if something pops up that surprises me, I will let you guys know, obviously in my wrap-ups. But as of right now, I would have to say probably The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, just because of what it's about. It's about stories and books, and I just think, you know, I love reading books about books and stories, so, and magical worlds. So it could possibly be my favorite book of the year, but I don't know. We will see. I didn't read that many amazing books this year. A lot of the really highly rated books that I've read this year were Stephen King books. I didn't really read that many great, exciting, amazing books. And like last year I did. So I'm in a transition right now that I'm feeling that I am not growing past YA, but there's just so much repetitiveness in YA books recently that I'm moving more towards adult fiction and getting more into the adult worlds. Even fantasy as well. Same thing, more sci-fi, adult fantasy books, and even, you know, supernatural fantasy books as well, or high fantasy books, whatever. But I'm looking more for that intense 600-page book than, you know, a quick YA page turner with angst and romance. I'm just kind of not growing past it, but I'm just not in the mood for it, and that's what I read a lot of that this year, and that is making me realize that I need to move on and broaden my reading horizons and get more into adult fiction. That's just kind of how I feel on that. And let me know if you feel the same way, because I'm sure some of you do. The final question, have you already started making reading plans for 2020? And yes and no. I have a plan to start up the Constantly Reading Book Club once again. I really would love to read along with you guys Stephen King and go a little bit more in depth of his writing and really dive deep with that. So I'm working on another way of bringing that content to you guys, possibly incorporating my YouTube channel along with that book club. But if anybody wants to join me as someone who can curate the book club as well, that would be greatly appreciated. So let me know if you are interested. This way I have someone to work with, because as of right now, I was the only one doing it, and I need a little bit of help, and I need someone to bounce ideas off of. Otherwise, things kind of get a little stagnant. So let me know if you're interested in joining me as a curator for this book club and really starting it up and getting it off the ground and diving deep into Stephen King's works, because that's really something that I want to do. I love his writing and I want to read all of his books next year. So that's definitely part of my reading plans for 2020. Other than that, I have nothing else going on for 2020. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I have a business I'm running, I have work, I got a lot of stuff going on, but haven't really thought of my reading plans. I'm just gonna read, and I'm gonna enjoy life. And if I don't read 1 month, I don't read 1 month. Anyway, on that note, that was a really fun tag to do. Kind of makes you think a little bit, get you prepared for the end of the year. So if you are interested, like I said before, it'll all be linked down below. But on that note, if you like this video, if you want to see more from me, just make sure you like and subscribe down below. And that's all I got for you guys today. So I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye!